As life goes on, I'm starting to learn more and more about responsibility. And I realize that everything I do is affecting the people around me. So I want to take this time out to apologize for things that I've done and things that haven't occurred yet, and things that they don't want to take responsibility for.
Calling the Child Support Enforcement Customer Services Call Center. Please listen closely as the menu for payment information about your child. For child support information, please enter your Social Security number now. The Social Security number you entered is information. Press 2. To return to the previous menu, press 3. The balance due for monthly administrative fees is $5.00. The balance due for administrative fee arrears is $35.00. For further information, please press 0 to speak to a customer service representative. Please hold while your call is transferred to the next available representative.
Thank you for calling, Mrs. Support. My name is How may I help you?
Hi, yeah, I'd just like some information about my case.
May I have your social or your case number, please?
Oh, yeah, my apologies.
Your name?
My name is Jared Wilson.
Sorry, I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm not feeling too well today. It's, Jarrett Wilson.
All right, and that number you provided me, is that your social?
Yeah, that's my social.
All right, Mr. Wilson, who's the other parent on the case?
It's, Bethany Braddock.
Verify your mailing address and phone number, please.
Of course, it's...
Okay, thank you. Give me one moment, please.
Okay.
You said that was...
Oh,
All right, one more time.
I'm sorry.
Okay, B as in... Okay. And that's apartment 4.
Yes.
All right, and spell your city for me.
It's, oh, that's a good question. That would be P-A-N... let me look it up, actually, so I don't spell it wrong. It's P-A-N-O-R-A-M-A, city.
Okay, yeah, because looks like we had it at one moment. Let me make that update for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and Mr. Wilson, how may I help you with your case today?
Well, I've been paying my arrearments, and I'm in kind of a catch-22 because you guys take, well, the state takes my money out of my paycheck before I even get it through a wage garnishment, which I have no problem with, but it seems like either you guys aren't getting the checks fast enough or you're not taking out the correct amount, because every month I seem to end up owing more arrearments even though I've exceeded my child support payments for that month. So I'm a little confused as to what's going on.
Give me one moment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and yes, sir, now the withholding order that we sent to your employer on November 14th informs them to withhold $245 monthly, but we have not been receiving that every month.
Well, according to my pay stub, you have, because you've been taking out $61.25 a week, and I get paid 3-4 times a month. So I have here...
We're not taking... We're not the ones taking the payments. Your employer is garnishing your wages.
Okay.
And sending the payments to child support.
Okay, so
we have not been receiving your obligation every month.
I have a year-to-date balance here of 857.50 divided by the amount of time I've been working comes out to exactly two something per month. And I know the recent increase from I think 58 something to 61.25 means that it's been adjusted to a higher rate, which I'm also okay with. No complaints there. Got to support my kid and all, and I have no problem paying the amount needed, but right now I'm paying $45 over the amount, which I was under the assumption was going towards my arrearment balance, because when I started paying it off, it went, I called and they said it was like 4,000 something. After they took over 1,000, I think maybe I'm just gonna round down to 1,000 of my back child, oh, not out of my tax return, it went up to 5,100 and something. So it seems like my arrearments, even though according to my financial end, is going up every payment I make. So what can I do about this?
Would you like for us to send you out a statement showing you every payment we've received and how it has been applied?
I would love to, and I would like to reply with my bills and my pay stubs to get this sorted out.
Yes, sir.
And I was also told that you guys started collecting in, was it December?
That's correct. We received the first payment in December, and I'm showing that was for $235.40.
Mhm.
Then in the month of January, we received $294.05. For the month of February, we only received $188.55. Then for the month of March, we did receive a collection from your taxes as well as a collection from your employer,
Wait, you
which
didn't
made a
collect?
total payment. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part. Did you say you didn't receive it or you did?
I said we did.
Oh, okay, that's good. So what is my total arrearment balance?
It's $4,000.52.
Oh, okay, so it is going down slightly, I guess. Better than what it was, I think. Um, my fear at this point is, since I have been, according to my end and my balance here, I'm looking at 857 divided from December to this point, and I'm also looking at I mean my calendar, and I get paid about 4 times a week. I mean not a week, per month. Maybe three on certain months because I get paid weekly. But for the majority of the part, it seems like I am getting paid enough to pay it off. So would an adjustment help this? Because it seems like the amount put in for the garnishment, and I know that you're saying the state that my employer garnishes my wages and sends out the money to the state. Or at least that's what the receipt on the check says. It says to MS Child Support, which I assume is you guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have copies of all the checks. So if I send, who would I be sending that to? Would I be sending that to the department?
You would send that information over to the caseworker. So how many payments are you reflecting?
Well, I'd have to go through the stack, but from the time you started collecting to last Friday, I have a total amount of 857.50, which was I know they just increased it recently, a couple months ago. So whatever that comes out to, I know it's like 200 and something per month.
Yeah, well, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and mail you out a statement showing you every payment that we have received. And once you receive it, you can compare to the stubs that you have. And at that time, if you're showing anything on your end that we have not given you credit for, then there would be a discrepancy, and you would need to contact us.
Okay. Last time I called, I was a little put off. Will that discrepancy be dealt with?
It will. We'll send it to the caseworker to her attention to review for you.
Is there any way I can speak to the caseworker?
Not directly, no, sir. We answer all calls for the workers here in the call center.
Okay, is my ex-wife allowed to speak to her caseworker?
Not directly. No one is.
Okay.
Calls are answered here in the call center. There's no direct numbers.
Okay. Because I called a couple branches of, I think it's the Mississippi Health Services or something like that, Human Services, and I've been trying to see my kid for the past, since 2010, almost 5 years now, and then I was recently informed that I had to send in a court document that puts her in contempt of court for denying visitation stated within the agreement. And then I was told by the department that even if I did that, there's no enforcement of visitations.
That is correct. Not by child support. And your caseworker actually mailed a notice out to you regarding that in February, but it was returned as I stated because your address was incorrect in the system. But in regards to the visitation, we do have a phone number that we can provide you to our Mississippi Access and Visitation Program, and you can see what assistance they have to offer you.
Yes. Is that what the letter was about?
It was. And she was also letting you know she enclosed a copy of your divorce order, and she said it does not specifically state a schedule for visitation.
That's kind of true. It doesn't discuss list a schedule, but it does say reasonable access to his child per agreeable terms. So what it's saying is, though it's poorly written, now as far as my legal knowledge goes, and my attorney says that yes, I do have visitation rights as are agreeable or reasonable. So I mean, I'm not going to ask for anything unreasonable. I've been asking maybe for, simple things like I know she lives like a couple thousand miles away, and I've offered my ex all expenses paid trip out here with the kid or her husband, whatever they want to do, hotel, car, but she's turned me down. I've also tried to get, I don't know, 5-minute phone call here and there. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just asking for contact with my child, and it seems like at every step of the way I'm being kind of blocked here. And I have been talking to that department quite a bit, but the order of contempt is all they were able to give me, which if you're telling me they don't enforce child visitations anyway, it doesn't seem like that's going to do much good.
No, sir. Like I said, that is something you would have to pursue with a private attorney. We don't enforce visitation.
May I ask why?
It's just not a part of child support. The only thing child support does is establish paternity and support. Visitation is not handled through us.
Is there anything else I can do at this point, or am I just out of luck with my kid?
I mean, I can give you the number for our access program, and you can call them to see if they can offer you any assistance.
Let me get a pen, because I've called them before, and a couple times I've gotten voicemail, like a mailbox. So in regards to the adjustment, I know that the only way that the state, my employer would receive a garnishment order is if it came from the state that needs the money. So, is there any way that like we can fix that, the amount they're pulling out?
What do you mean fix it? Because you're under a court order to pay this amount, so we can't alter that.
Well, I understand I'm under a court order, but the court order is for $200. But I am currently paying 61 something, coming out to a little more than 200, maybe it's like 245. So if it's 45 over the amount that is stated within that agreement, that means that the 45 has to go to the arrearments. Am I correct?
So your court order states $200 for your monthly support, with an additional $40 to go towards the past due balance, and $10 to go towards the fees that are on the case, and then there's a $5 processing fee.
I wasn't aware about the fees. Why am I paying fees?
I'm showing here the only fees that you have are for the administration fees,
Mhm.
and that's a balance of $35. And that is where your employer is supposed to include $5 a month to process your payment. And I'm not saying this comes from this employer. It could have been from an employer in the past. At some point, we were not receiving that $5, and there's a balance of $35.
Interesting.
Now, once that has been paid, then you'll be no longer responsible for that $10 for the fees.
So I'm paying the $10 until I meet that 30-something mark, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, no worries about that then. I'm sure that'll get taken care of, and I guess I'll have to discuss that with my employer.
Correct.
Okay. So could I have that number for the services, please?
It's 601
60
359
359
4589.
89.
And her name is Ruth Ann Williams.
What was the first name?
Ruth Ann
Okay. Williams?
Williams.
Ruth Ann Williams, Mississippi Access and Visitation Program. Sorry, I can't take your call at this time. I'm either tied up with another client or away from the office. If you'll be kind enough to leave your name and number and a short message, I'll be glad to get back to you just as soon as possible. Please be patient as we have a very high call volume. Thank you. Sorry I missed your call. Bye.
Record your message after the tone. When you've finished, you can hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Ruth. Ruth, I'm sorry. I hope this is the correct person. I was directed to you again from child support or Mississippi Department of Human Services, and I believe I've called you several times in the past. Um, I've never gotten a call back. My number is 818-792-9702, and yeah, I've been trying to see my kid for 5 years. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, and I really just want to talk to my kid. And she lives all the way out in Mississippi, and I'm not asking for a lot. I'm asking for a phone call here and there. I'm asking for some pictures. I'm not asking for, you know, a lot of visitation because I understand the distance and it's rough. I understand that. I just really want to see my kid. I want to have contact. I want to have photos. When I was living with my daughter and taking care of her, I had pictures. I had tons and tons and tons and tons of pictures. And now I got all the only pictures I got are when she was little. It breaks my heart. I make videos to her. I write her letters, but none of them get through. So I know you hear this a lot, but I love my kid more than anything in the world, and it breaks my heart not to have any contact with her. And I know I've said this on the phone to you before, and I feel like nobody wants to help me. I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of money. I can't afford a $10,000 attorney, a month out there. I'm a working man. I got to work to survive. I have a family of my own now with 3 kids. On, I got to take care of my family too, as well as my other daughter. And I pay my child support. I actually pay like $50 over the amount I need, and I'm paying every week. So I'm not asking for a lot. I really am. I'm not. I just want to talk to my kid. A 5-minute phone call at night. I want to say good night. I want to say good morning. I want to say have a good day at school. I want to see how she's growing up. But I can't do that. I'm sitting here at home in California where she's off in Mississippi. I don't know if she's okay. I don't know if she's had a bad day. I don't even know her favorite color. What kind of father is that? And it's not because I don't want to. It's because I'm not allowed access to someone that is my own flesh and blood. I'm not like one of those other fathers who says he doesn't want anything to do with his kid. I've been trying to fight for my kid for 5 years. I've been blackmailed